Okay. I don't know if y'all will see that glitch or not, but I'm going to start again. TMOT back again for another drive time. I hate the clickbait titles. This is not clickbait. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what happened. But before I jump into it, you know what it is. If you find value in my words, hook a brother up with uh, a cup of coffee. $sign TMOTOFGA. You know what it is. Check out the description. So let me jump right into this. I was sitting in a room full of Negroes last night watching the debate. And I'm going to tell you this. Trump did okay. Me personally, I do not think that he won, but decisively. Let me throw that on there. Because he should have pounded Harris. And I thought he was going to do it when they asked him, I think it was question 1 or 2, they were talking about the abortion. Trump looked at them and said, ask her, what is she going to do with abortions in the 7th month or even post-birth? Ask her. Of course, they did not. They deflected. Why don't you just answer the question, sir? So where I found the weak part was Trump took some things personally and he didn't focus on simply pounding her on her record. Now, Democrats, especially the Negroes in the room where I was, man, they were laughing at certain things, and I just kind of shook my head like when Trump brought up the issue about the people eating dogs. Wasn't necessary. That was the first time I had heard it, so I don't know. But I don't think that it should have been brought up there. He had too much other good stuff that he could have hit her on, like price ceilings. I've given you examples of what happened when you put on a price ceiling on products. Basic economics. I mean, he could have hit her on so much. He could have destroyed her. All he would have had to have done was pose the question to the people asking him questions and then gave the numbers on his own record. And then people could have made up their own mind. At the end of the day, people like me, I'm voting for Trump. Because I know Trump's policies, I want that back. And because I know that Kamala Harris is a liar. But with what Trump presented last night, for those Democrats that don't know that Kamala Harris is a liar, because all they have been listening to is CNN and MSNBC and all the other liberal rags out there that are in the tank for Kamala, they weren't convinced. Even if they are voters that might be pissed off up in Detroit or Chicago, knowing that they are suffering, going in on their city councils, they may not have been swayed. And the bigger prize would have been independence. If they weren't sure, they may not have been convinced. So that's where I come down on it. Trump did okay, but Trump did not destroy Kamala Harris in that debate. And that's just is what it is. I don't think Trump lost anything, but I'm not sure he gained much in the way of independence unless they are smart enough to remember how they prospered under Trump and how they haven't prospered under Kamala Harris. And he certainly wasn't going to get the Negroes in the room that believe every damn thing that liberal media says. None of those Negroes in the room where I was at were convinced. Well, with the exception of one brother named Latif. He asked me, he said, man, I was sitting back thinking when I heard him mention about the $25,000 down, or the 20%, which is Kamala's plan to give people money for down payments. He said, how are they going to pay for it? And I said, you are going to pay for it. He said, no, a better way to say it is unrealized gains. And I said, you know what? You're smarter than all the other Negroes in this room because you get it. And what he was saying was the unrealized gains, that's going to be those down the road continuing resolutions when they increase the debt and the Fed prints more money, and your children will be the ones paying back those down payments. And any of the other programs that rhinos and Democrats are going to bring forth, because they sure as hell don't want Trump back in office. That's my 2 cents. Take it and do what you want to do with it. But I believe that Trump needs to hunker down, focus in the next debate, and they won't ask her the questions. So he needs to pose the questions to the moderators. Then people like you and I will hear that question being posed, and we will see that she is not answering it, and then you can make up your own minds. Okay? Because Trump tried to respond to every lie that she said about him, and he kind of went overboard on a few issues. But I think if he takes that approach in the next debate, he will mop the floor with her. T-Mod out. Drive time till next time. Do not be discouraged.